Hi, I'm Top Hat John, and welcome to Top Hat John's Motor City, the show where we talk to and about people and the automobile. Well, in this show and the automotive world, we wear a lot of different hats, and we're going to show you some of those.
I'm Jim Kowalski, and today we're at Autorama. Behind me is a 51 Cadillac. Some of you residents of the Mount Clemens area may have seen it on Wednesday night up at the cruise. But the last time I seen it, Santa Claus was driving it. John, do you know anything about that?
Yeah, well, we do, Jimmy. We love the holidays, and we love Santa Claus. And matter of fact, excuse me, I get to play Santa Claus for some kids at a special center, and I love doing it. But I couldn't resist. You know, it's Christmas Day, and I just thought, you know, this could be way cool. Santa Claus driving a Cadillac. I mean, what else would Santa Claus drive? A Cadillac. So on Christmas Day, we jumped in the car because it was beautiful out, and did we have fun. We drove around in Santa Claus, went out on some of the major highways down the freeway, and the funniest thing was, it actually created a traffic jam on the freeways. We're going 65, 70 miles an hour. People would come by, and all of a sudden they'd see Santa Claus. Got my arm out the window, you know, that big red sleeve and a white glove, and a big, beautiful beard. And it was just way cool. People would just slow right down, start taking pictures with their camera phones and waving. We had a blast.
Yeah, I know on cast they were doing a double take, and even I did. I said, wait a minute, that can't be. But
well, I got to tell you a quick one. One of the best parts about it, I was on Romeo Plank, right over by the Clinton Township offices, and there's that roundabout there. Well, there's people at each one of the corners, sort of, as I'm coming around. So I went around one time, everybody started waving and beeping horns at each other. So I did it about 10 times, and they all start following it until it slowed down too much because we had a traffic jam, and then I got out of there. But it was really cute. People love Santa Claus.
Well, by now it's obvious this is your car. You want to give us a little insight on what you've got here?
Well, it's a 1951 Cadillac Series 62 convertible, which of course were all two doors. It's a custom color by CMC Mike Koski Collision, does custom cars with a pearl yellow coat in it. And I got to give Ron Schumann credit for doing the car. I was going to buy it 16 years ago, but Ron, I thought, geez, this is going to cost some big money in a couple of years to do it. Ron Schumann bought it, and I learned a long time ago, buy the best you can buy and make it better, so he did all the hard work. And a couple of years ago, I bought the car and did to it what we did. It's got beautiful roadster wire wheels, the wide obligatory white wall tires, and they're radial, so it's good for modern driving, very smooth. It's got a gorgeous interior that's a tricolor, and it's got the original engine in it. It's a 331 cubic inch Cadillac, the third gear for the overhead valve V8, 160 horsepower, and you know, you don't think these old cars are quick enough or fast enough it'll keep up with traffic, and I have to admit, I have illegally had it up to 107 miles an hour, so it does, it can cruise. It's got a 4-speed single range hydromatic automatic transmission. And this is the original numbers matching engine and transmission, rear axle. It's been pretty much rebuilt from a deterioration-free 1951 Cadillac convertible. It's what I call my Hollywood car, and its claim to fame is that Clark Gable actually drove a car either just like this or similar to it back in 1951. So Hollywood, the show will go on. We're very happy to be here. Glad that you're here with us. This show, this year, probably has some of the most spectacular cars that I have ever seen here. The quality of the restorations, the quality of the build, absolutely gorgeous. And I think the first thing we're going to do is take you over and show you my favorite Cadillac in the show, which isn't mine. It comes from down south, and oh wow. There's over 1,000 cars here. We're going to be upstairs, downstairs. Even Farm Truck is here for you all that may watch some of the shows on television, Street Outlaws that do illegal drag racing, but the truck is here. We're going to show you that. And it just doesn't stop. And as you can see, kind of in behind me, take a look at that beautiful Ford Woody. Station wagon, depot hack, whatever you want to call it. But what a beautiful, beautiful restored car, just the way they were from the factory. Why did they call them station wagons, or how did it get the name station wagon description? Because this is what they used to pick people up when they were traveling on the trains. So it is a station wagon.
Hooray for Hollywood, that's gooey valley, hooly Hollywood, where any office boy or young mechanic can be a panic with just a good-looking pan.
And any shop girl can be a top girl if she pleases the tired businessman.
Hooray for Hollywood, you may be homely in your neighborhood.
Be an actor, see Mr. Factor, you make your kisser look good.
Holy smoke, take a look at this. It looks like something that Ed Roth would make. This is a stunning automobile. The folks are have worked all night long on this one, that's for sure. It belongs to Dennis Heapy, Brainerd, Minnesota. He calls it a 56 Chevy two-door Roadster, but I'm looking at the interior and I can see a 5960 Chevrolet dashboard. I know it's got a 355 Chevy small block on it, or in it, with an automatic transmission. Sort of looks like a shifter out of one of them first early Corvettes out of the 50s, straight axle car. But this is absolutely gorgeous. It's got a lot of different parts on here, and I'm going to have to literally read it off of the card, the reader card that he's got here. Again, that chassis is a 56 Chevy shortened. The drivetrain's a small block Chevy automatic transmission. The body has got a 56 Chevy cowl and door section 6 inches, 58 Chevy quarter panels, 59 Chevy deck lid, handmade hood, a 59 Chevrolet instrument cluster, handmade steering wheel with a 56 DeSoto horn ring, love those, and a 51 Mercury rear window that they used for the windshield. All the trims, moldings, all the detail work done by the owner. The color, toxic orange, PPG Chrysler color. Wow.
Hooray for Hollywood.
Candy apple red, the best red that there is. The reason they call it candy apple red, if you polish an apple, a Jonathan apple, it's got that color to it. One of the most beautiful candy red colored cars here in the show is this 1960 Ford Starliner. Deep metallic candy apple red. Not only is it a beautiful candy apple red color, under the hood is a full boogie modular Mark 8 Lincoln dual overhead cam V8. All modern stuff. Haven't seen one this good in years. And take a look at this. This is called the Preservation Award. What a car. It's what they call a shoebox Ford. They used this body in 1949, 1950, and 1951. This is one of the original Valley Customs. Valley Custom did tons of classic cars. This one was done somewhere around 1957. It was Ron Dunn's 50 Ford Club Coupe. This car has had everything done to it. Chop, channel, section. It's been miniaturized, and it is up, and it has received the Preservation Award here at Autorama. I can build you. From Grifton, Ohio, this is John Wright's 1936 Ford Roadster. When is the last time you saw black paint this deep? And look at those absolutely stunningly beautiful, I believe those are 1957 Lincoln wheel covers. You don't necessarily need wheels, you need cool wheel covers. And does this car have it? We just showed you what it takes to get started to have these cars in Autorama and show them as perfectly as you can, with Mike Oginski doing the detailing and all the build of the cars. Well, here is the finished product after the fact. Global Hall Autorama, show day. And here we are. This is Kids Day at Autorama. What do you think, guys?
It's awesome. Right, Miller Lite.
That's it. Okay. Give me that little howl you were doing when you walked in the door.
Yeah.
Where are you all from?
Lakeview High School.
Lakeview High School over there on 11 Mile Road?
Yeah.
I just drove by there this morning, threw some snowballs at some of you guys. Give me your name.
Chris.
Chris, what do you like cars?
Yeah.
What kind of cars?
Mud cars.
Mud cars?
Mud cars.
I can see that by your boots. Okay. What's your name?
Jake.
Jake, where are you from?
Lakeview.
I know that.
Marine City.
Marine City.
Yep.
That's where they used to build boats.
Really?
You know the history of Marine City?
Nope.
Well, that's why they call it the Marine City, because that's where they built ships that went on the lakes.
Really?
Get some education, boy.
I will.
And here, this guy looks like one of those TV stars that does that cool stuff on television with different shows. What is it, Fast and Loud? Is that the one?
Yeah.
Yeah, you look like him. What kind of cars do you like? You work on cars too?
Oh yeah.
What do you got?
Omega.
Oldsmobile.
73.
Which engine has it got in
It's
it?
got the old 350.
Okay, that's a good motor.
Oh yeah, it is.
Bulletproof. They made diesels
Oh,
out of
yeah.
that. You knew that,
Yep.
didn't you? And
Oh,
they
yeah.
used them for drag racing too.
Oh yeah. They had like the first Hemi.
Oh yeah. Good to see you. Enjoy.
All right, thanks.
I remember as a kid hitchhiking home from Verhoeven Chevrolet on 6 Mile in Van Dyke. And one day, one of the cars that I got to ride in was a 1961 Chevrolet Impala, Honduras Maroon, 348 4-speed car with tri-power, 350 horse. But take a look at this. This is an Impala bubble top 1961 that has been converted into a station wagon. It's equipped with a W motor. The dashboard looks like a 62 Chevy that they mounted in the center and had that beautiful 61 Chevrolet steering wheel in there. Take a look at the workmanship on this car. It is spectacular. The wheels, they remind me, of course, of the 61 Impala wheel covers, but they have that Bugatti flair. They're gorgeous. And that white finish, snow white with a gorgeous tan inlay. 1961 Impala SS Custom Station Wagon. It is one of the great 8 in the Riddler Award. Oh, good to see you. This and the Oldsmobile.
I think it's a 55 Cadillac over there.
Okay. We are standing by a gorgeous 1940 Mercury convertible. It's won some awards, I'm already pretty sure of that. I've seen it before. Jeff and Jessica Wolfson. Oh, the Wolfman, you remember that. What a beautiful car. Tell me about it, Jeffy.
Well, what it is, John, is it's a 1940 Mercury Custom. It's got a drivetrain out of a 1968 Z28 Camaro.
So it's a 302.
Yes, probably back when those cars weren't worth a whole lot of money and they didn't feel bad about chopping them up, but that's really what powers the whole vehicle right now.
So you actually have, being that a Z28 engine is worth so much money, you got a $20,000 or $25,000 motor in this Ford.
Yep, there is, and all the front suspension, and we did all the numbers matching and went through the whole gamut of figuring that all out, and it's all real, accurate, and true. So that kind of made it more fun after we figured out the rest of the story of the car. Just kind of added to it.
And this, are you part of the cavalcade of customs?
Yes.
Okay, Chuck Miller, Styling Customs.
Yep, absolutely. Yep.
Beautiful. How long have you had the car?
We've had the car for about 4 years now.
Listen, I saw you up at St. Ignace last year. You know, you're with your dad there and the whole family.
Yep.
And I remember the day that I stayed until I got my lemon meringue pie.
Yes, I remember that very, boy, I still remember when you dodged traffic up in St. Ignace, risking your life to run across about 6 lanes of traffic just to get to me and Chuck here to have pie with us. I'll never forget that.
Well worth it. And Dad, Chuck Layton, cowboy, how you doing?
I'm doing just fine, sir. How about yourself today?
Well, I'm doing real good, Chuck, and I'm enjoying being here, of course, and you're here, and I know you're going to be with me up in St. Ignace.
We have a good time up there. Anybody that doesn't come, shame on you.
And right, and you bring your family with you.
Oh, certainly. I have to bring my wife. If I leave her, I have to kiss her goodbye, so I bring her.
How long you been doing this stuff?
Well, if you start back when we were kids, and then there was that period of time, but I've been late 70s now again.
Serious people, what size is that hat? No, I'm just kidding. We don't need the hat. I already have a good one here. We're going to go on and look at some more cars. Where do you see some of this other stuff? It just keeps me up at night. Been here for a couple days already just to look at it, and it's beautiful. Let's go look at some more stuff. We started out the show on my personal Cadillac. Well, there's 3 or 4 of them here. And this one is a spectacular 1953 Cadillac Series 62 convertible. Take a look at these beautiful colors of metallic gray and salmon and charcoal interior trim. What's really cool about this car, it looks original, but it's really gently, politely modified with a General Motors 427 Chevrolet LS7 engine, a 4L70E electronic automatic transmission, street and performance front runner, Sanderson headers, Flowmaster exhaust, a 9-inch Ford. What a beautiful car with a 389 ratio rear axle. Goes great with that automatic overdrive transmission. And I did mention the street and performance front runner all for the belt system. Body is virtually all is overall factory. It's a PPG Punalo stone paint finish with a clear coat. Paint was done by a gentleman by the name of Chris Ryan. It's nosed, decked, shaved, no door handles, that's what that means. Rear fenders have been molded to the body. Just absolutely gorgeous. And take a look at that firewall in the engine compartment. The chassis is a one-off with 20-inch wheels, custom made. They look like the original Cadillac saber spoke wheels that were used on the Eldorados. Fatman Fabrications front stub with polished stainless control arms, RideTech Shockwave shocks. The rear is a RideTech polished stainless parallel 4-bar with RideTech Shockwave shocks again. Stunning interior, Hot Rods interior by Chuck Hanna. It's a custom cut Eldorado power front seat, hand-formed rear seat, and the colors are absolutely spectacular. Interesting, take a look at that instrument panel. That's what we call the waterfall or the Wurlitzer type. It's a 1948 Cadillac dashboard. My kind of Cadillac. How you doing? Oh yeah, and it's me again. What are we looking at? I'm crazy about Cadillacs. They've got 3 or 4 of these in the show with this body style. This one here is a 1949. Mine's a 1951, and then we did that beautiful gray 1953. This car is just as cool as can be. It pretty much looks stock, except for the interior, which is highly modified. And of course, it has that great Chevrolet LS motor with the electronic drive transmission. Wow, modern day cruiser, drive it anywhere. It's got air conditioning. And oh, did I mention that it was a supercharged Corvette engine? 630 horsepower and 630 foot-pounds of torque. Karma, created by Gary Dorman and the builder Michael Hall of Hall's Custom in Hanover, Massachusetts. What an absolutely gorgeous car. It's a modified 33 Ford 3-window coupe. Take a look at the added length that has been put on this car. The girth almost looks like John Greenwood style extended fenders, quarter panels on it, or something like a Zimmer. But the workmanship is just absolutely incredible. Gorgeous grille, stunning automobile. The quality of the vehicles here are just absolutely over the top. Hey, you car guys, you know something about 4-doors? Well, take a look at these tires on the back of this picador. Now I'm going to tell you what it really is, a red rocket ship. Here I am walking through Cobo Hall and I see this red Nova. Now, back in the 60s, they made the Novas with some pretty good sized motors, 327s, 350s. They were hot cars. Then in 1968, with this new body style, they came out with the 396, up to 375 horsepower. Now, for you car guys, you understand, that's an L78 high compression, solid lifters, same engine as a 425 horse Corvette. But look at what you've got here. A picador 4-door sedan with a 406 cubic inch small block. How way cool. In a 4-door sedan. And take a look. What tells it all are those tires on the back. Well, we got a chance here to talk with the owner, Mr. Appel. And Mr. Appel, how you doing today?
I'm doing great.
This is way cool. How did this happen?
It's been a long road, 8 years, but it was given to me by my mother-in-law, and I just
did it.
Kept adding to it.
This is too cool. That a 406 small block. This car's got to be a rocket ship.
It'll get out of its own way.
Have you ever had it on a racetrack at all?
No, it's just been finished. I finished it Wednesday.
Oh, so this is its first showing.
Yes.
Riddler material.
Oh yeah.
First showing. Well, this is spectacular.
Thank you.
A picador with a real motor, 406 cubic inch small block.
It was put together by Gary Jacob.
Oh, good stuff. Well, thanks for bringing it out. I'm glad I saw it. Does it have tinted windows?
Yes.
I love it.
Factory tinted.
Now all it needs is air conditioning and we can go for a way cool ride. '32 Fords. What else can you say except what a beautiful car. Absolutely stunning. This is the most popular hot rod that ever has been. 32 Fords. This is a 3-window coupe. Take a look at the stacked fuel injections on that big block. Absolutely gorgeous. The jewelry of this car is that gorgeous drop drill front axle and those big headlights. Oh, take a look at the grille. You know it's a 32. And a Willys. These are the cars, the 41 Willys, the Willys AmeriCar. These were the cars that set the gasser world on fire. Typically when you see one, it is a gasser. Stone Woods and Cook, Big John Mazmanian. Sunday, Detroit Dragway.
Explain what a gasser is.
A gasser? These are cars. Gassers are cars that have great big motors, they use a lot of gas, and they go like stink. No, that's understood. 1940 Ford Coupe, gorgeous car, and take a look at the trim that is painted on the side of the car. Kind of reminds you of a Packard Darren. When you talk about Troy Trepanier and crew, this is what it's all about. Nothing but ecstasy. The finest in craftsmanship, the most beautiful build, and here's one of them, a 1966 Plymouth Belvedere, and we're going to be talking with Moose, one of the guys that he's been with Troy Trepanier for years and years. And how many years, Moose?
17 years.
17 years, and every year that you're here, it gets more spectacular with what you do. And this one, this is really different.
Yeah, this is a car we did for a gentleman. His name is David Myers. It's a 66 Plymouth Belvedere. and he wanted a sleeper type car, so it has a 526 fuel injected Hemi with twin turbochargers, but the turbochargers are hidden towards the back of the car, and you can basically pull a pin and take the parachute out the back and flip the license plate up, and nobody know what they're coming up against.
And one thing I noticed on it, the car's got tinted glass and air conditioning.
Yep, it's got all the creature comforts. It has power windows, air conditioning, and you can drive it to the grocery store every day, but it makes 1,000 horsepower with 8 pounds of boost in it, and can have a lot of fun.
Moose, thank you.
Yep,
Fabulous
you're welcome.
car.
Thanks a lot.
We're with a guy from Chicago, Illinois, that had this car built by Kuzi Customs. They're in Clinton Township, Michigan. They totally build these cars from the ground up, every part, every piece. And Joe, you're from Chicago.
Yes.
The big city of Chicago. Do you ever get to go to any of the museums?
Oh, I love the museums. They're great.
Fabulous, the best.
Yeah,
absolutely the best.
yeah.
I got to ask you this, Joe. You're from Chicago. What part?
Northwest side, near the airport.
The
near
safe
Autorama.
side.
Safer to say, yeah.
I got to ask you this. Do you know how to spell Chicago?
Chicago.
That's wrong.
How do you spell that?
No, that's wrong.
How do you spell
Chicago. Chicken in the car and a car can't go, and that's how you spell Chicago. This is a beautiful car. You know, I remember these cars very well when they were brand new and when they came out. They were kick butt cars for sure.
Believe it.
And these newer ones that you do the reconstructions on, wow, they're beautiful. Tell me about the car. What's the drivetrain? I see it's got the billboard with Hemi on it.
Yes, this car has a modern 6.1 Hemi motor in it that has been bored out with a 426 rotating assembly, ported, polished, blueprinted, balanced, everything that we could do to a 6.1 to hype it up and make it better. And then to top it off, we added a Diablo computer, and then we had that flashed to be a little hotter. So it's somewhere around 700 horse.
700 horse. And what about the torque on it? What kind of torque does this car have?
That's 780, I believe.
780 foot-pounds of torque.
Something like that.
What? This looks like Tor Red. Is it actually that color?
Actually, it's Frank's own make. Isn't this your own color? Or? Viper Red.
Viper Red,
Red,
okay.
yes.
Viper Red, which is a little bit different for sure. And I like the custom gauges in the dashboard. Gives it a nice touch.
We used a carbon fiber insert and then the custom gauges. I did it, tilt column, aftermarket seats, center console. We have
and of course, air conditioning and tinted glass. You gotta have all the amenities.
The creature comforts.
Hold the microphone a little closer to each other.
Beautiful heavy-duty stereo system that I haven't even heard yet. So we had many things on this car built, like the gills on the front fender for a 71. Those only came on the 71 Cudas, not the Barracudas. Only the 71 Cudas had the gills. And we went a step further and had these gills made out of a solid piece of aluminum.
Beautiful car. You haven't even driven it yet.
Haven't even driven it, no.
When are you going to drive it?
He's going to be delivering it in about a month or two to Chicago, and that's when I'll take delivery and start enjoying the feel of it.
Now, you say you're having a couple more built by him?
Yes, he's actually doing a convertible for me, a 71 Hemi Cuda convertible that has a full chassis, and that car is going to be stunning as this is.
What color?
We're not really sure yet on the color of that. We're leaning toward yellow, but we'll see.
They look great in that metallic green.
They do. He wants to do metallic green. We're thinking about that one.
Good. And the third one?
Third one we're doing is a car that, for now, the working name is Super Cuda. We'll have to change that, but it's a very, very extensive build. We're going to try and go for Riddler on that one. So
beautiful.
So twin turbo car and full tube chassis. Beautiful.
Did you say twin turbo?
Twin turbo.
Serious horsepower.
Yes, absolutely. That one's going to be around 1,800 horse.
Wow.
18, yeah.
Kuzi Customs, hello. Good to see you. Clinton Township, Michigan. Autorama. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Well, we got a chance to talk the other day. We saw you on Woodward.
Yeah.
And this is this beautiful 1960 Ford. And how far did you drive?
Just short of 1,200 miles.
And you drove from?
Tarpon Springs, Florida.
Tarpon, the Greek fishing capital of the world.
I'm not Greek,
the sponge capital.
I'm a Bohemian in a Greek town. Okay.
This car is fabulous.
It's fun.
First of all, it's pretty. I love the body lines of it, but the interior is spectacular. I had told you that at Woodward when I had seen you there.
Yeah.
But this is interesting. You come from the deep south.
Yep.
And there's palm trees down there, pina coladas.
It was 80 degrees.
Just to be here.
And I drove through the storm, and it was pretty silly.
But you made it. And of course, you didn't drive the car. You had it in your enclosed
I had it in my trailer. Yes.
Interesting about the interior in the car is the seating and all the beautiful sculptural panels that are in there. But the dashboard, it looks like a 60 Ford, but it's not.
It's a 63 Mercury Marauder.
And of course, it fits.
It bolts in 10 minutes.
The car is stunning, very stunning. What's the drivetrain?
It's a FE motor. It's a 427 motor that's stroked out to 482, built by Barry Robotnik in Detroit here. And it's about 500 horsepower, 529 foot-pounds of torque.
Transmission?
Tremec 5-speed.
Only way to go. Overdrive for easy highway cruising.
Very, very nice for the highway. Yes.
Beautiful car.
Thank you very much. It's fun being here. Wonderful show.
And we are here looking at something that's really special. When you get into the high horsepower and the long wheelbase cars, this is it right here. Phil, how you doing today?
How are you, sir?
I'm very well. I see you're really at it still. How many years you been doing this now?
My brother and I have been racing together for 18 years now, and this is our 4th year with this top alcohol dragster. So what you're looking at in front of you is a 300-inch wheelbase top alcohol dragster. We have approximately 3,400 horsepower. We're going to make 58 pounds of boost during our run. We're going to use about 7 gallons of race fuel. We're going to go through the quarter mile in about 5.44 seconds at 265 miles an hour. And I have to say, I'm not the lucky guy that gets a step on the gas. That's my younger brother. So I just help him out as a chief mechanic. But yeah, absolutely 18 years together we've been racing ever since he was in junior dragsters.
And your dad, of course, he's into cars.
Oh, for years and years and years. He was actually the one that got us the drag racing bug. So he was at an NHRA race helping out Jack Ostrander, and they had one of the first junior dragsters right across the aisleway. And my brother was there with him as well at the age of 6 or 7. And he was love at first sight. He saw it across the aisleway. He said, "Dad, I got to get one." And before we knew it, Santa Claus brought us one, and it's been drag racing madness ever since.
And of course, Jack Ostrander, he's enjoying automobiles now.
Absolutely. He's got a couple custom hot rods. We share the same shop with him now, so we get to see him quite a bit, but he loves to tinker, and he loves not having to spend the hours of time we do on this car.
And it is time. Now, this is interesting. You said about the hours of time.
Yep.
What is the preparation time before a race?
Oh, I'm going to have to imagine if I total it all up between my brother and I, we probably spend 60 hours a week in the shop between the both of us before the week is over. So we'll be in the shop evening times from 6 to 10, and then we'll be there on Saturdays as well from 8 to 5. So it's like having a second job, and you have to really do that to be competitive in our sport. I mean, there's just so much maintenance and high performance parts that go in that have to be checked every lap, and it's a continuous outpouring of time and money. You really have to love it.
And the preparation at the track?
Oh, we have a full-time, I shouldn't say that, we have a volunteer crew of 4 people that come out and help us. Great friends of ours, and it's a full-time job at the track. We'll come back after every lap and we'll do serious maintenance on the engine. I'll change out the main bearings. We'll check all the valve train. We'll swap in and out the clutches. I mean, it's top fuel racing, but just a little bit less off the top. So it's a lot of maintenance at the track and a lot of time at the track too.
And the kind of times you're turning with the car again?
We're going to go 5.44 seconds is our best. We're going to try and break into the 5:30s this year. So we're on the cusp of breaking into the 530s. But yeah, 5.44 at 265 in the quarter mile.
So you're doing a full 1320?
Oh, full 1320. With our cars, they're not quite going as fast as the top fuel cars are these days, so we can still get them stopped. So that's the major concern with the NHRA cars. If you cross the stripe and you're going 340 or 350, the racetracks that were built in the 50s weren't meant to slow down cars from that speed.
Serious racing. It takes a dedicated effort to do what they do. This is the best.
I'm here with John Leeson and his wife Linda, and he's got a 29 Ford that he recently restored. John, you want to tell us a little bit about the car?
Well, it started out in a pretty rough shape. We did a few changes and modified a few things. The grill shell is from a 32 Ford. The top has been chopped 3.5 inches. The roof is filled with a Chrysler minivan roof. The headlights have been flush mounted, or I'm sorry, not flush mounted, but mounted on the fenders where they used to go on a headlight bar across the front of the car.
This had a soft top originally?
The center section was soft, yeah. And, yes, yeah, chicken wire and all that under it.
Now,
the fenders, the rear fenders have been bobbed 3.5 inches. That means the back was shortened that much. The hood is a 3-piece aluminum hood made by Bergler Enterprises in Shelby Township, and the same with the van shroud and the overhead console. The doors have been flush mounted to the car. They used to overlap, and now flush mounted, and the hinges are gone. They're hidden hinges now inside.
pretty much. You got air and all the creatures, so this is a cruiser.
Yes, air, cruise. Like I said, automatic, small block Chevy. Runs along real well. It's got a couple thousand miles on it already this year, so we're enjoying it. It's a cruiser.
Now, you've done everything on this car, right?
Yes, I didn't do the interior. That was done by Luna Upholsteries in Mason, Michigan, but I did the paint, all the body, and like I said, the hood and the aluminum parts were done by Bergler, but the rest I did myself. And the wiring, that was a kit, but I wired it and did all the body work. Well, the doors, like I said, they're flush mounted. They used to overlap, so when you close the door now, get this out of here, it fits flush with the body line, where before it used to overlap in the front and the back. And then the hinges used to stick out here, here, and here. There were 3 hinges, and we took them off and hid them inside of the A-pillar. So that gives it a little smoother look. The handles have been removed. They were little handles on the outside of the door. We've taken them off. In order to get the doors to fit inside, I had to cut the body in the middle of the door opening and move the whole cowl an inch further forward to get the doors to fit in. So that was a little work, a little more than I expected. But it's all steel, yeah. Yep.
Now, you also have another car besides this one.
I have a 54 Chevy 2-door sedan, yes, that we enjoyed driving quite a bit too. So, and that's an all-original car. Still has a 6-cylinder in it and 3 on the tree, but we enjoy that too.
you got anything to say?
Well, there's no air in the 54, so I like this one better.
Yeah, I think this is the better. Nothing against the other one, but I think this one's definitely the nicer of the two.
Yeah, I've owned the car for 20 years, but probably got 10 years of work into it over that 20-year period. But my brother drove this car to high school in 1964, to Harper Woods High School, in original condition. And then it sat in a barn for 28 years after that, before I ended up with it. So.
Okay, John, Linda, thank you, and hopefully we'll see you at Mount Clemens this summer. Okay.
Thank you.
You know you need a shave?
Yeah.
You know that?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Where are you from?
Monroe, Michigan.
How long you been there?
17 years.
You must be 17 years old.
Yeah.
We're, of course, at Autorama, and it's way cool to see new people coming into the sport, seeing guys and girls. I don't care how old they are, it's glad to see just young people doing stuff. And they're from the Jefferson Auto Shop in Monroe, Michigan. And I think you all built this car, am I right?
Yeah, yes, we did. We basically gutted the whole car. We redid the whole electrical system, replumbed all the brake lines, the fuel lines. The suspension was actually completely disassembled, repainted, and everything is basically brand new except for the paint. The paint has been there for at least, I want to say, 30 years. 30 years, that's a long time. That's last century. Yeah. That's before you were born. Yes. How do you know it's 30 years? Actually, the last time it was worked on was 1996, and previous years before that, they've done the same thing. And a couple years before that, it was painted, so.
And what have you done to this car?
I basically redone the rear axle. I did plumb the brake lines. I did a lot of sanding. I did some machine work on a lathe for different parts for the car, and just picking away at different stuff.
Cool. And your name?
I'm Corbin Butcher.
Corbin, I like that name. That sounds like a good Southern name.
Oh, it is.
It is. That's way cool.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I was just going to say, with this little bit you guys got, you know, you look like a Civil War general. You know,
oh, really?
Down south. Way cool.
Yeah.
I like that. Corbin, how did you get that name? Corbin, Kentucky?
Yeah, I was actually named after Corbin, Kentucky.
That's cool.
And my mom found out she was pregnant in Kentucky and named Corbin, Kentucky, so there was my name. That's how it stuck.
I love it. What did you do to the car?
I kind of just helped out, buffed it out. You know, I helped with the radiator.
Corbin, I got to interrupt. You know you got something hanging from your ear, boy.
Yeah, I got one from each. I did this one myself. Oh yeah.
Oh, that hurt. So, what all did you do to the car?
I helped with the radio, you know, helped clean it up a little bit, put some of the panels on in the inside, you know, just helped out wherever I could, you know, wherever it was needed, I was there to help.
Something to do. You like working on cars?
Oh, it's my passion. Love doing it.
Beautiful. Good luck to you on that.
Thanks,
That's good. Okay, we got to get this guy. I'm going to get this guy down at the end over here. And your name?
Chance Strickland.
You know, is there something? Is this a club? You all got that. You from down south too?
No.
No. Okay. And what did you do to the car?
I helped gut the inside and a little bit of the brake lines, and
Now, what's the purpose of this automobile? Was this Jefferson Auto Shop? What is Jefferson Auto Shop?
It's just a program for us to learn and get better, and then the race car to get out and show everybody what it's got.
Was an engine in this car built for the? Did you all build an engine for this car?
Yes.
You did. Tell me a little bit about that.
It's a 360 and
LA motor.
Yep, and we run about 12 seconds.
That's fast. Who gets to drive it?
Actually, Mr. Epler, our instructor, picks it out for us by the hours you got and your grade in the class and just stuff.
So you got to get good grades in everything.
Yeah.
Have you driven it?
Nope.
Okay, wait a minute. Have you driven it?
I have not yet.
Have you driven it?
In my dreams.
Have you driven it?
Not yet.
I would say your teacher's being very unfair. Very unfair. I think we should be taking a vote on this. Well, guys, I want to thank you. It's really good to see you. Really good to see you here.
Thanks, sir.
Corbin, y'all be well now. You understand? You hear me, boy? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
You guys, that's great to see you doing this stuff. Good luck with it and keep up the good work. I'll tell you what, I started off stealing hubcaps on cars, and look at me today. I'm on television. So you never know how good it could be. Good talking to you all.
Yeah, you too. Thank you, sir.
See ya. Freddie Militello, how you doing?
John, pleasure, as
Be
always.
Cool Radiator. You've been up there in Bay City, freezing your gabungas off, and then you come down here in the cold and bring all this stuff with you.
Now we left it in Flint. We got the Flint coming down here and it started clearing it up for us. Come down here for the Detroit Autorama, which we do every year. We never miss it.
What's your latest project that you're doing, Freddie?
LS program is just continuing to grow. We started at about 3 years ago. We were basically the innovators on the LS swap market as far as a radiator is concerned. And we put a program together for the LS swap market, and just continues to grow. The phone calls come in every day. I'm putting an LS in a whatever, and can you do a cooling system for it? Well, normally we can. So, and if it becomes a certain car that's a phone call after phone call, we'll end up putting it into a production part number that you can buy right from our dealers.
Let's talk a little bit about how important the cooling system is in an automobile, and when can you tell, how do you know when it's wrong, it's not working right?
Well, cooling system is not working right. Obviously it's not cooling properly at low speed and highway speed. If it's just a highway speed issue, it could be a cooling system tune-up. At a low speed issue, it just could be a cooling system tune-up. But then again, John, the old copper brass days are like drum brakes. The new aluminum radiators, the 2-row 1-inch tubes, they're like disc brakes. They're two complete different animals. You can get better cooling out of aluminum radiator because the core surface area, we could try to build them bigger than the factory, but not as thick. Thicker is not the answer. It's core surface area and the core design.
What about thermostat and the radiator cap itself?
Oh, that's very important. I'd have the right pressured cap on the cooling system and the right thermostat. Like the new fuel injection cars, obviously they run warmer. A lot of the old timers have been building stuff for years. They like that 190 degree. Well, an LS motor, you need to go 210 on that. And, look at all your late model gauges in your late model cars that are all fuel injected. That's 210. You tell an old timer 210, he gets a little nervous, but that's where the fuel injected cars need to run at.
And it's interesting when you think about it. I believe it was a '59 Cadillac was the first American car to use a high pressure closed cooling system.
You want a job at Be Cool?
Freddie, thanks, brother.
John, pleasure.
Hello. I like this sign, sir. What? My boss here has a Corvette, and he wants to buy a few $100s worth of things off you.
We can take care of that.
We can take care of that.
We can handle it.
All we need is his money.
All we need is his credit card.
We can do his credit card. That's it.
Just leave it, and we'll put together a package deal for him.
How long have you been doing this?
About 8 years.
And you've been traveling everywhere?
All over.
all over the United States?
Pretty much the eastern half. We've been as far away as Moultrie, Georgia.
Moultrie, Georgia. What's famous? What's famous in Moultrie, Georgia?
Nothing.
Nothing.
It's in the middle of nowhere.
I thought it was pecan. Georgia.
It's in the middle of nowhere.
I see you everywhere I go.
Yes.
And you see me everywhere I go.
Yes.
We're at the same places.
Well, we hang around with the same people, the car people.
Nothing but fun car stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
My name is Ernie.
What else would it be? Ernie's Man Cave? It's got to be Ernie.
My dad, Ernie, too. Come here, Dad.
Oh, Dad's here, too.
I'm the young Ernie. Here's the original Ernie.
Dad's here, too. What do you mean?
We got double Ernies here.
This is the Ernie and Ernie show.
And you're the same thing like him. Wherever he goes, you go, and I get to see you.
We're twins.
Twins?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do look the same.
He was just born 27 years after me.
Yeah, but he's uglier than you.
He'll get better looking as he gets older. Because I was ugly for 90 years.
How many years?
I just got pretty in the last year.
Wait a minute, you said 90 years.
Yes.
How old are you?
91.
Congratulations. You know, I figure that with modern medical technology, I'll probably be able to live to 125, 135 years old. And with a little bit of luck, get shot by a jealous 30-year-old husband.
What a way to go.
Okay.
And we are looking at something way different. It's the wrong side of the car, the steering wheel, but they said it's on the right side of the car. Holy smoke, what a gorgeous car that you have here.
Thank you very much, and we're certainly proud to bring an Australian Falcon here to Detroit Autorama.
This is really neat. Chris and Colleen Bitmead from Orange Grove, West Australia. Hi, mate.
Hi, mate.
Tell me a little bit about this car. It is so cool, and I know that Ford have a big presence in Australia and built some way cool stuff, just like General Motors had over there until they start bringing some of it here.
Oh, certainly, and I think this car would have done well if it was sold in America, but it is unique to Australia, this car. It was made, the body shape was made in Australia through the 1970s, commencing 71 through to about 78 was the last of this shape car.
Chris, the car is just way neat, and I see that it's got a mod motor in it with a puffer.
It has, yeah. No, we've updated the whole car, but yes, certainly the driveline is, the 5.4 mod motor, aluminium block. We built that up to handle about 1,000 horsepower. We're not running that through it yet because putting 1,000 horsepower through a show car in this condition is probably not the best idea.
Well, do you drive it?
I will after the show, yeah, but the car's only just been freshly built. We had to have it licensed in Australia for me to be able to import it to America for the show, and we have strict licensing laws there that mean that there's a lot of work that we need to do, including torsion tests and brake tests and all that on the car to make sure it functions right, and it passed all those.
Now I can see the modifications you do on the car, but what have you changed on the car from what was factory, other than the drivetrain?
Everything. Really, I kid, but I'm serious. We've changed everything on the car, but we've just stayed true to the concept of the original Falcon. But the way the hood and the trunk open is obviously different. That's easy to see. But the shape of the hood, the shape of the front of the car, we've enlarged to create a better balance to the car. We've completely refabricated the underneath of the car, completely refabricated the interior of the car, but still with a factory style look.
Who did the car in Australia?
Well, there's myself plus a mountain of people that have helped out along the way. Some of those guys are here in America, for the journey. But predominantly, it's been a real team effort. Guys like Travis Sparrow, Mark Allen from back home. They've been with the car for a long time, and I'm really appreciative to their efforts, as I am for everyone else's.
I've got to ask you one last question.
Yep.
Did you bring any ruse?
No, and they're a bit of a pest over there, so we try and stay away from them, particularly with our show cars.
Beautiful car.
Chris, thank you very much. Cha-ching. That's what they call this absolutely gorgeous 1967, I believe, Camaro. Chris Collins, this is your car, and is it a 67 or a 68?
68.
What a gorgeous color combination. It looks like some of the best hot chocolate and candy I've ever had.
Yes, sir.
You got to tell me a little bit about this car. The lines on it, and I'm going to ask a couple of quick things and comment on it. The beautiful sculptured interior, the lines on the car, the wheels, the drivetrain, the color, and just the flow. It's
yes,
perfect.
Sir. Yeah, it's all due to Simtex rods. They did all the construction of it, and Gabe's Interior did the interior.
Just a gorgeous automobile. What's the drivetrain?
It's a Detroit Speed suspension. It's a 572 crate motor with a Tremec TKO 600.
6-speed.
Yes, sir.
6-speed transmission. Beautiful. And you're from Austin, Texas.
Yes, sir.
And you're here for the Riddler?
Yes, sir.
Taking a shot at it.
Trying to.
Good luck with it. What a gorgeous car.
Thank you.
Take a look at this 1939 Oldsmobile. It doesn't get any better. When I saw this car come into the building, I thought, gotta be a Riddler contender. It absolutely is. 1939 Oldsmobile. It has been cut, modified, stomped on, changed in every area. It is absolutely stunningly gorgeous. Now we're looking on this one side where it's kind of up in the air. You see those gorgeous handmade wheels. There isn't anything on this car that isn't modified. You take a look at the windows. It looks a lot like some of those cars that Ford had built. The color, absolutely stunning. The fit and finish, absolute perfection in every place that you look. It's an injected V8 car, of course, because that's what you always put into these cars, fuel injection. Even NASCAR has gone to fuel injection on all of their cars. But what excellent workmanship. And take a look at the seats on the interior, spectacular in every way. Well, I hope you enjoyed the show, 2016 Autorama here at Cobo Hall. It's always a great show, a lot of wonderful people from all over the place. Florida, California, you've got Farm Truck here. And I'm just happy to have talked with you and shown you Detroit Autorama 2016. See ya.
CTTV, the voice of Clinton Township Community Television.